Monet with TIC Life, and today I'm doing my summer quick tip that is geared just for first year teachers and student teachers. So, tip number 1, contact the principal. If you're a first year teacher, see if you can possibly come at the end of the year and see your classroom, or maybe meet your team members that are going to be on your grade level, or even get a feel for the building. It's always nice to go to your class and even take pictures, so that way over the summer you can buy things that you believe would fit the vision that you have for your room. If you're student teaching, the first thing that I did was I sent an email to the principal and the assistant principal, just thanking them for the opportunity to come into their school. And I even looked at the school's mission statement, and I kind of talked about a little bit how their mission maybe fit my beliefs as a teacher. So that way when you do meet them at the beginning of the year, it's not like that awkward, oh, I'm a visitor in the building. It's more so like, hey, it's really nice to finally meet you, that type of thing. And even for student teachers, if you can go into the school before summer or before it's time for you to work with your collaborating teacher or supervising teacher, then that way you guys can get off on a good start, and maybe during the summer, she or he can be sending you things that maybe they're planning to do with their students. So just to start that line of communication with your grade level, the teacher, and even the principal. Tip number 2. Print out your standards for your grade level. Some of us are departmentalized while others teach everything. Once you know what grade level you're going to be in, go ahead and print out your state standards for that grade level or for that content area and look them over. And when I say look them over, I don't mean glance, I mean literally study them. Something that I always go by is to teach is to master. So before you can get up there and feel comfortable and confident and be able to answer those questions that the students may have, you have to first master it. So for example, I'm not really the greatest person when it comes to math. I know math, but I had to literally teach myself how to teach math. When you're looking at those standards, also look to see what prior knowledge do the students need in order to be successful. Tip 3. This goes along with tip 2 when I was talking about figure out what prior knowledge the students need in order to be successful with the new content that you're going to be teaching. Tip 3 is basically assume nothing. When I say assume nothing, assume that your students will not understand and will not know what it is you're about to teach. And by doing that, you're setting yourself up for success. I say that because as a new teacher and even as a student teacher, we naturally assume that if a third grader is in third grade, they're on the third grade reading level. They have number sense on the third grade level. But in reality, a lot of students have gaps. They lack in certain areas, or they may not have high retention, or their teacher might not have taught it, sadly. So when you go into preparing your lessons, go ahead and, connect the dots for them. Look and see, okay, if I'm going to be doing addition of 2-digit numbers, let me review place value. Let me review decomposing and composing numbers up to 20. Like, you just want to start out and use that as your warm-up, use that as a part of your introduction, and it makes it easier for you to get through your lesson. I found in my first year of teaching, I really found myself reteaching. And it wasn't until I sat down and did like a self-evaluation. And I was like, why is it that I'm having to reteach? And the reason why I would teach for literally 2 weeks, a month, and I'll be like, why are they still not, why isn't it clicking? Or why I'm having to teach this for literally a month? And the answer was they didn't have that prior knowledge, or I wasn't connecting it to their prior knowledge. So that just helps you to not have to repeat and for you not to feel uncomfortable when you're doing your student teaching. Tip number 4. This goes into the fun part of student teaching and being a first year teacher. Designing your room, buying those materials that fit your personal taste, or that you feel you need to successfully do centers. Well, guess what? Buy bit by bit. And I say that as a true tip and trick, okay? Not only by little, and what I mean by that is, first get a feel for what you need. So that day when you went into the classroom, you took pictures and you saw it was there, and maybe you didn't like the bins. Maybe they had 15 different color bins, you want all blue, whatever have you. Month by month, when you get your paycheck, pull $5, $10, maybe even $20. That's a stretch, but pull $20 and put it into like your classroom fund. And that way, when you see things that you like, you can get them. Great places to shop for school classroom stuff would be Goodwill. I love them. I love them. I love them. Target has an awesome dollar spot. Big Lots, Hobby Lobby, in other thrift stores. You'll be amazed what you can find, literally, especially if you want to do those things like flexible seating, which we'll get into in another video. But not only can you go to those stores that have those low prices or discounts, but also you can get in contact with those people that are retiring or moving. For example, one of my close friends this year from my school, she's going to be teaching overseas. So she can't take everything with her. So she had to really pack light. So she gave me her cutting board and she gave me her laminator. So I'm like so excited about that because it's free and it's things that I wanted to get this year just to have for my personal use. And so I was just very ecstatic when I was able to get those things. But she also donated about 30 bins to her sister who was a teacher, and she gave to other teachers in our building. Also, those people that are retiring, they have 25 plus years under their belt, so they have 25 plus years of resources that you could get for free. When you go to do that school tour and you're walking around a building, there are people leaving and there are people retiring. And ask them, hey, I'm a new teacher. I'm going to be teaching third grade. I'm going to be in the kindergarten teacher with Miss Webb. Can I please use this? Or can I please get this now to put in my classroom later? Okay, student teachers, you may not need it today, but you'll definitely need it tomorrow. At my last school, not the school I'm at currently, but my last school, they actually had a room that all the teachers, it was kind of like a resource room. They set up 2 tables, and as you're packing up for the summer or you're decluttering, they had a donation room. So a lot of us would go to that donation room and we will find a lot of great things that we didn't have to pay for. So again, those are some tips on how you can budget so that you can shop or so that you can get some free items, okay? So tip number 5 is a part of really like the interviewing time, or even when you're about to start selecting your placement. You know how they ask you, what grade level do you want to do? Keep this in mind. For my student teachers, think about where you really want to teach. If you feel more comfortable in the lower grades, try to get in K through 2. If you really want to be in the upper grades, try to do 3 through 5th. If you know exactly where you want to be, and that's 5th grade or that's 4th grade or that's 1st grade, try to get in that classroom. And I say that because when you start to interview for positions, they look to see where your experience is. And that's more than likely where they're going to put you. For example, I did my student teaching in 2nd and 3rd grade. And I ended up, because I finished my program in September. Of all months, I finished in September. And I got hired as a 5th grade teacher because all they had was a 5th grade teacher position. When I transferred to a different county and I went to that teacher fair, everybody wanted to hire me for 5th grade. I personally wanted to go down. I had did 5th. I really did not want 5th. I knew from my experiences in practicum in college, I did not want to do 5th. Do not give me the kids that are on my level. Like, no, I want the babies, the cute babies that want to please you. But no, seriously, I didn't want 5th, but I wanted a job, so I took it. And when I tried to transfer, again, it was just very difficult to get to the 3rd. Like, they give those positions to people that have the experience. And so now when we move in 3rd, I actually had to not sell myself to my principal, but just share to them that I really wanted to get out of field. And since they knew me, they knew my work ethic, and I guess they trusted me as an educator. They moved me down. They could have quite frankly, hired somebody for that position or for that classroom that had prior experience. But once you get your foot in the door, you're able to kind of move a little bit more. So that's just a tip for those that are student teaching. My first year teachers, again, the same advice. You're going to be in that classroom for 160 days plus. Everybody's state and county is different. You have to go in there Monday through Friday. Do not accept the job position in a grade level that you truly are not comfortable in. Do not be desperate for a teacher position. I promise you, there are always openings, okay? But again, it's a part of your mental health. And a lot of times we spend a lot of time in the classroom and we don't necessarily know how that affects our mood. I know, again, I didn't want fifth last year and it really dragged me through the mud. I made it. I'm a success story. Hallelujah. But actually my first year. So not last year, but my first year teaching, I did fifth. And because I was a little stressed with fifth and I was trying to adjust and the content just kind of, just kind of blew my head off. I took that home, sadly. I didn't know how to quite turn off teacher. I kind of, I would leave school frustrated. I would walk through my door frustrated. I would, deal in my marriage frustrated, and it kind of shapes your day to day. Again, I would like to say that teaching is teaching is an occupation that you have to make. You have to mold it to fit you. You have to mold your classroom to fit you. Your teaching approach is to fit you. And the same goes with the mentality that you have for your job. I went into teaching because I wanted to wake up every day and be glad to go to my job. As your teachers, just make sure that you choose a grade that fits you, that you're going to be comfortable in, that you're going to enjoy going into. And trust me, you're going to have those good and bad days, but again, you're in that grade level for the long haul. And sometimes May or June comes quick, and sometimes May and June it seems like you just cannot get there, right? So just keep that in mind. Okay, my next tip is, I don't know why I just did that, but I did. My next tip is to be observant and to ask questions. Do not be afraid to ask someone in a building, the teacher, the supervising teacher for student teachers, maybe even the instructional coach. Ask them, whatever you need help with. They're there to help you. If you don't feel comfortable, if you truly don't feel comfortable asking somebody in your grade level or in your building, maybe you can ask someone that you might have did your student teaching program with. You might have did your college education program with. Maybe they might know. Or you can go to Google, but no one knows your environment. No one knows your grade level more than those that you work with and you collaborate with. And they're there to help you. And they feel more than willing to give information to you because they know how it is to be a first year teacher. So be open, be honest, and be open to receive knowledge from other people. Okay, the next two tips, they go hand in hand with one another, and this is in regards to classroom management. With classroom management, I always put it to people this way. In order for you to teach, you have to have control. And control does not mean, sit down. What did I tell you? Do you hear me? Get up, sit down, be quiet, walk quietly. That is not classroom management at all. Classroom management is not sitting in the back of your corner. Oh, I'm so scared to talk to them. I don't know what to say. Don't do it. They'll eat you alive. Don't do it. But seriously, really to build classroom management, the first thing you have to do is get to know your students. Get to know them. Get to know their personalities. Get to know their triggers. This means you have to watch them. You have to engage in conversation with them. Not just, hey, what's your name? No. Really talk to them. And sometimes you can even ask them, depending on what grade level, be like, just build a relationship, basically. And one thing I know for sure, if you respect them, they will respect you. If they feel like you're belittling them or you're nitpicking at them, they give that back. They really give that back. So you just really want to build an open communication relationship with them. But also, this goes into the next tip. Say what you mean. Do you see my hands clapping? Say what you mean and mean what you say. They look for consistency and they want you to be fair. And those are the 3 words that I go by with classroom management is consistency, stern, fair. If you're fair, things will go well. If you're stern, stern is not mean. Stern is just, I mean what I say what I mean. And being consistent. Don't do it for little Johnny, but don't do it for little Susie. They don't like that. They see that, they notice that, they go home and tell mama that, and you really never know who's watching. This goes for student teachers. Last year, we had someone come into our building, and word got around the school that she didn't really know how to talk to the students. And word goes around the school very quickly, to the point where the assistant principal and the principal got word of it, and they started to literally watch her, like drop by the room, sit in for a moment just to see and hear, her tone or her choice of words. So again, with student teachers and even first year teachers, you never know who's watching you, and they're looking to see if you have classroom management. It's a big deal. It's a big deal because, again, in order for you to get instruction in there, an effective instruction at that, you have to be able to control your learning environment. So mean what you say what you mean, and have communication and build a relationship with your students. Okay, so the very last tip for this video is enjoy the journey. Enjoy this year. Enjoy the experience. You've worked so hard to get where you are. From people that are student teaching, you're literally at the door and you're about to walk through. Enjoy this time. Absorb everything that is around you. And remember to breathe. I always tell people, go in with a positive mindset and fight to keep that positive mindset, because things will come at you. Sick kids, annoying teammates, annoying principals. I'm just putting it out there because education is not perfect. We know that. But you can control you. You may not be able to control anybody else, but you can control you. So keep a positive mindset. Keep yourself uplifted. Something that I do, I started it this year, and I wish I could have shown you guys like the the area that I worked in. I'm gonna do a classroom tour when I go back to school, but I put up inspirational words, and I even put up scriptures because I am a believer, but I put them around my personal space, like my desk in the wall that was, right there. And that way, whenever I would get discouraged, frustrated, or just start feeling negative, I would just look at those inspirational words, and it would really uplift me. That's how you fight to keep your peace, and you fight to keep your sanity in education as a teacher. But you got this. Be confident. Continue to shop smart, and just enjoy your year. I will also say, please subscribe so that you can know when I'm posting. Also, you can follow me on Instagram at TIC_life, and I put up a lot of pictures of things that I'm building for my TPT store, and so that way you guys can directly go to my store for Teachers Pay Teachers. I have a lot of planners and self-assessments and things like that on there. I'm still prepping those centers and things, so they're not on there yet, but I will be doing a back to school sale in July. I'll keep you posted on that. But please leave comments if there are any tips or even any questions that you may have. Leave them down below. I read them and I do respond. You can check the other videos to see I do respond. So if you have any questions, if you have some tips for those people that are watching that I may not have said, go ahead and, put them below and subscribe. So this is Monet, and thank you for viewing this video. I hope it was very helpful. Have a great day, and I will see you guys on the next video. Bye bye. TIC On.